Hi, everybody. Welcome back to DM Druggies Matter. This is my episode where I talk about why druggies matter and why the war on drugs is so wrong. Forgive me for a minute here. My name is Zion. I'm the author of a book called The Pot Smoker's Bible, which contains another book called the Book of Zion. The Book of Zion is a book of prophecy. It's written entirely in Bible verse, so I couldn't publish it by itself. So I had to write the Pot Smoker's Bible to publish it. And the whole premise of the entire book is that the prophecy of the Old Testament of the Bible foretells the creation of a unique people called Zion who do drugs. That's why druggies matter, my friends, because we're a prophetic people created by God. I love saying that. And I hope people think I'm crazy for saying that, because if you don't believe me, I think you're crazy too. Because I actually read the Bible about 20 times, and that's what God showed me from it. But I don't want to get into the whole religious concept of this, because that's not what this is about today. This is my third attempt to do this one, because I keep going too long. Today's episodes of Druggies Matter is about the fact that we as a people are not represented in this government. I've been going through a list of reasons why the war on drugs is wrong. I just wrote this off the top of my head the other day, and it's become my list of episodes for Druggies Matter. And today's Druggies Matter is taxation without representation, not being represented in the United States government, and not being citizens of the government because of that reason. You see, the United States of America is founded on the premise of a democracy, that we should be equally represented in the government, and that the government itself should be run for the people, by the people. All laws, therefore, should be governed by the will of the people, and all peoples having laws in this country must have a say in those laws. Any law which violates the rights of the citizens of this nation are unconstitutional by the Bill of Rights. And the Bill of Rights is the founding document of this country. It specifically says that it is the foundation of the Constitution, that any law which violates its precepts are not constitutional, therefore not valid laws. And that when the United States government supersedes the laws of this country, violates the Bill of Rights, then the government itself is in an act of treason and should be overthrown. That's what the Bill of Rights tells us. And it says that when it is disregarded, which it was under Obama, that at that point, the United States government is in an act of treason and is not lawfully the United States of America anymore. That event took place on October 14th, 1982. But we'll get to that later, hopefully. If not, look it up. Anyway, my premise for the reason why druggies matter in the United States of America is because if we are lawful citizens of this United Nations or United States of America, then we have the same inalienable rights as every other citizen of this nation. We have the right to the pursuit of happiness. We have the right to self-determination, and we have the right to privacy. Yes, there are more rights, but these three are directly being violated by the laws pertaining to the war on drugs. Because I have the inalienable right to be a happy person, and only I have the right to determine how that happiness should be pursued. And it is my private business. Nobody has the right to tell me shit about how I pursue my happiness, according to my beliefs. So, if I want to smoke marijuana because it makes me happy, that's my business and nobody else's. So in 1939, when the United States government violated my rights, by passing laws saying that marijuana use was wrong. They violated the United States Constitution. They violated the rights of all citizens who smoke marijuana. And from that moment on, we were never again represented in the government. The United States government did not practice democracy in the all-out declaration of war against my people. They just made a law, signed a piece of paper, and an entire segment of the United States population became disaffected. You smoke marijuana. You're a criminal. Yesterday you were not a criminal, but today you're a criminal. So because you have that plant, we're going to put you in prison. We don't care that you weren't representative in the government when we made our decision. We don't care that there was no debate over whether or not it was constitutional at that time. We just decided that we're going to make you a criminal, and so you're a criminal. I spent 2 years in prison for that. Just so that I would have the right to sit here and tell you it today. I'm not represented in this government in any way, shape, or form. I'm poor. But I slip through the cracks because I'm barren. So because I cannot have children, my pussy's not productive. So I don't deserve welfare. I don't deserve medical help. I don't deserve anything. I do, on the other hand, deserve to pay more taxes than everybody else in my uh, category because I don't have the burden of children, or I should say, the help of children. Because my friend who works the same job and has the same pay has children, and she takes home three fucking times as much as I do. Where's my representation in government? Every law that is passed dealing with drugs instantaneously creates non-represented citizens being disenfranchised from the government, made into criminals without ever having a voice to say whether or not that was right, just, justifiable, or constitutional. There was never a debate whether or not LSD should be legal or not. It was just, oh, we can't make super soldiers out of it. It just makes these really weird shamanic people. So we're just going to sell it to the drug users. Pass a law making it illegal. And then we can make billions of fucking dollars imprisoning them. Where am I represented in that? Where are you? You're not. And with very good reason. Because as I said, on October 14th, 1984, you lost your citizenship of the United States of America if you do drugs. Not only are you not represented in this government in any way, shape, or form, not only are your rights not debated or justified, you're not even considered a citizen. Because President Ronald Reagan made a very, very stupid mistake. He declared war on us. He declared that the United States of America was declaring all-out war against the citizens of the nation of drugs. Now, wars can only be fought by sovereign nations. In fact, the very definition of war is an armed conflict between two sovereign nations. So on October 14th, 1984, every person in the United States of America who does drugs became the rightful citizens of the nation of drugs. And they were no longer considered to be citizens of the United States of America because they were in a state of war. And war, by its very nature, is between nations, not by a nation against its own people. You declared war on us, United States of America. Now it's time that we are represented. You did not represent us in any way, shape, or form throughout the entire pre-war gambit for oppression from 1915 to 1984. But on October 14th, 1984, you crossed a line that cannot be uncrossed. You disenfranchised us. You ejected us from our citizenship state. You declared to the entire world in a declaration of war that we were not represented in this government, that we had no place in this government, that we were no longer considered to be rightful citizens of this government, and therefore we are a unique, separate, and sovereign people. I'll let that sink in for a second. We are represented. We are represented as a separate state, a separate nation called drugs. And everyone who has ever done drugs that are illegal in the United States of America has, in effect, been disaffected from the United States of America. The cops considered themselves to be justified in killing you because you're not a citizen of the United States of America. You're a druggie. You are a citizen of drugs. And citizens of drugs are enemies of the state. They are enemy soldiers at war, open targets, legal murders, no matter their color. But because most of the pigs in this country are white supremacists, they pick on the black people, and the browns, and the yellows, and the reds. And then, and only then, did they get to this poor white trash like me. But I'm just as much a citizen of drugs as any black man who's been killed. George Floyd was not a citizen of the United States of America. He was a citizen of drugs. Because I know for a fact he was a druggie. So was it's been a while. What's his name? Oh, I'm sorry. My friend who was killed in New York City for selling a cigarette, choked by 4 cops for selling a cigarette. Yeah. Maybe, I don't know, maybe he wasn't a pot smoker. But I just can't imagine a man selling a single cigarette without being a pot smoker. Because anybody who didn't smoke pot would not be poor enough to be able to need to sell a cigarette. And why would he want to sell a single cigarette? Probably for a line or a bowl. Something little like that. Something only a druggie would do. Point is, the cops kill us because they can. They can because we're not represented. We're not represented because they are taught that we are the enemy. We are separate. We are not American citizens. We do not have the same rights as other citizens of this country. We are not represented by this country. And I say, that's your problem, people. Because the minute my people realize just how screwed you are, just what you have done for us, you have given us the right to legally, morally walk away. We don't have to pay your taxes because we aren't represented by this government. We aren't citizens of this government. We're citizens of drugs. That's why druggies matter. It's may the great watch over you, guide you, protect you, and keep you from all harm. May they teach you right from wrong, and may you be worthy of them. May your thoughts, words, and deeds reflect truth, good, and light the unicorn way. Find your joy and pursue it, and make that your guild choice when we get to camp. My name is Zion, If you do drugs, stay happy and high. You have every right and reason to. Believe me, I know I wrote the books. My name is Zion. I love you way too much to ever say goodbye. So I'm going to say later now.